All right, hello everyone. Good to see ya. Yes, there you are. Here I am. Welcome everyone. We're gonna dive into some seamless surrealism. Just so you know, what I've been doing is I've been kind of going based on just design trends as of late. So this will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you are, Elizabeth and Frank and Cindy and Richard and Afroja and Andreas. I have so many ideas, it's kind of insane. So we're going to have a problem narrowing it down. What's up, Wade? Good to see you, man. Good to see everyone here. Awesome. I appreciate you guys hanging out on this fine Friday. And let's dive into it. Also, if you're joining me elsewhere, I've been mainly keeping an eye on behance.net/Adobe Live. That's the chat I've been looking at. Don't mean to ignore you. All right, so we're going to create some seamless surrealism, just so you know. We can kind of get ideas. Just do a search for surrealism, and you'll get all sorts of crazy stuff. Lots of Dali, of course, as we can see right here, sort of melting clocks. Just a bunch of crazy stuff, so feel free to search on that and just kind of get inspired. Frida Kahlo. That's Frida Kahlo right there. And you get the idea. Just a lot of fun stuff. I forget who does this work, but I think this work is really amazing. We might not go that crazy, but again, it's just combining elements that you don't think would necessarily be combined, right? And I kind of want to focus on that word realism. So I love this, by the way. We might not go this crazy. I just like the idea of the surreal. Like let's not forget about the word realism is what I'm kind of getting at. Okay, so that's the plan. You can see a ton of work in here, and kind of get lost that way, and of course search on Behance. But let's have some fun with this. And again, we can just make some fantastical images. I don't know what we're going to be able to get done in an hour, but I mean, look at how amazing this is. We'll definitely get someplace in an hour. And funny thing is I have a good amount of ideas already set up in Photoshop. Okay, so I'll kind of click through these. Yes, exactly. Surrealism, the best reason to use every tool in the Photoshop toolbox. Exactly right. But we're going to keep in mind the fundamentals, like leading the eye. That's why this is strong. Like, this is pretty cool because there's like a clear focus right here, this one in the front, and then your eye just kind of goes down around sort of back here, right? Kind of darker in the corners. It's just a good composition, I think, overall. So we're going to keep that stuff in mind. There's this one that's absolutely crazy. So yeah, talk about using like liquify and stuff. So anyways, have some images. Let's kind of dive into this. I'm going to share my ideas with you and let me know what you think. And a lot of times it's just even looking at images like, oh, I have these deer. I was thinking, oh, what would be really cool? And I've actually done this before though, by the way, is like putting like these antlers look like trees. So we'll turn this into a huge tree on top of this elk and then put somebody like swinging, right? So that's one idea, right? Easy enough. It is called deer tree, right? That will be an easy one. Here's one with the cliff. Anytime you have a cliff, and this is also kind of like goes with space underwater, the idea of having, the sky, which is normally blue, and then filling it with fish and stuff like that, okay? We have hand animal. I thought this would be fun as well. Take some hands and let's put a little baby elephant in there, huh? That'll be super easy to do, right? And again, I think back at art school, that was always one of the projects. Size. They'd give you size, and that is the project. So you got to play with size. Make something small, really, really big. Make something big, really, really small in this case. And again, what do we call that? It's creativity. I saw this image, and I thought of like a solar system, because this kind of reminds me of the sun. So could we put like the whole solar system in this light bulb, right? It's like God saying, hey, I got a great idea. Let's create a universe, right? So again, hopefully this is kind of making sense. I'm just gonna play around and I'm just kind of throwing you some images your way, and we'll get some done. Some will be faster than others, and that's the idea. Andreas, how are you doing? Hey Devin, hello. Same thing here. It's like, okay, we could take this. What does this look like to you? Ooh, I zoomed in a little too close. This could look like a number of things to you. I'm reminded of a key. So could we turn this into just like the key? And if this is a woodpecker, we could put like the keyhole on a tree. All right. 1,000 other ideas that I don't have time to really get into. Maybe later as we kind of peruse these, because I want to get down to work. I thought of flamingo flowers, right? Just having some fun with that. Woman wings, octopus hands, animal chop up, funny faces. Let's just have some fun, guys, shall we? Let's make it surreal. Let's make the real surreal. Let's dig this image. Let's start with this one. This should be pretty easy. Here's one image. That's right. Let's just rasterize this puppy. Drop him in there. Yeah, I got a whale. So again, this is just a cliff. We'll throw some whales back there. Easy enough, right? Taking that whale layer. Whale, whale, whale. Remove background. Magic moment. There it is. And let's actually do this. Let's duplicate this layer. Okay. And then let's remove the background here as well. So let's see what happens. By the way, I haven't done any of this. Yeah, flamingo flowers, doesn't that sound cool? I'm into that. So I'm kind of seeing what you guys respond to, and that will help me to know like what direction to go if I'm on to something. Okay, so I did remove background there. Of course, when you do remove background, it gives you this lovely layer mask, which is perfect. And now I can create a layer sandwich by putting that whale in between this person and the background. So I'll turn this on. Boom. There it is. There's our little layer sandwich. And, you know, we can play with this like all we want. We have so much room in this piece. I might crop it a little bit more. Let's crop it. Let's do something like this. I want this sort of angle. Kind of like that. Less sky, kind of more looking down, kind of like that. All right. You're here for the surrealism. Right off the bat, you'll notice that we have a color matching problem, right? So, yes, fish in a stormy you know, Elizabeth, this is such an easy one, and that's why I'm glad I'm starting with it. Let's just apply that layer mask. We could throw a couple whales back there, but first let's kind of color correct this one. And we could do that a couple different ways, just so you know. Sometimes what I will do is I could sample the background color, put it on a new layer. This is just a new layer with that color, right, that we can actually, let's do this. Command J. This is what I'd actually do. Take this, let's blur it. This will make sense in a second. Man, I have this resolution so high. It's insane. Okay, so I'm just kind of creating a color wash. Let's wait for it, because I'm only blurring this by 1,000 zillion pixels. Actually, about 350 pixels. Right, so there we go. Click OK. There that is. And there's that color wash. I'm going to clip it to the whale, just like that. And then I can play with the blend mode. So now I'm actually combining that sort of wash with this particular, with the whale. Okay. As I go down, you can start to see, we could say, hey, you know what? Let's steal the hue from that layer. So there we go. We've stolen the hue from that layer. And now we have that. Looks like it's just more integrated overall. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, Yeah, so by the way, like this, what I'm doing right now, I've actually done this before. This is not an uncommon thing to do. Here's another one that I've already done, right? There you go, right? So you can see I've done this before, like no big deal. But again, that's neither here nor there, just kind of pointing that out, right? There's another one, right? And here's this one, and just kind of showing you how to do it. So yeah. It's always interesting because you're like, oh, I've seen this before. This person did this. Like a lot of people have the same idea, sort of, maybe at the same time. That's often sometimes an issue. We could make this whale much bigger, right? So we could go really big like that. I don't know if you guys like that. I want to create some space in between this whale. If I wanted to add another one, Command J. Let's take these two layers, group them like so. Okay, so now I have two whales in here. So let's take this whale out. We're going to do a puppet warp, right? Add some pins like so. Bend it up like that. Okay, so now we have what looks like a different whale, like so. So there you are, two whales. Let's put one, you know, so it's like this guy and his girlfriend back here, something like that. We could play with the opacity, but the cool thing is, since I created this is my color wash, right? And here we have our whales, right? Let's go ahead and clip it to that layer folder or layer group. And you could see what it does there. So since that's a color wash, you can see kind of what it's doing. But anyways, kind of have that set up. Could do something kind of like this. I don't know. This is probably where I'd spend a good half an hour just trying to get this positioning right. Okay. And then from there, we'd grab some fish. Let's grab some fish. Fish? Come on, buddy. Here's some fish. School of fish. Maybe this'll work. Maybe. I also have these that I could actually cut out. I'm just trying to figure out how lazy I am today. By the way. I'm feeling kind of lazy. You know, laziness often leads to innovation. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to spend forever doing this. Is there an easier way, you know, to even cut out these? I think of the remove background as the easy button, you know? There you go. Remove the background, put that in there, shrink it up, right? It's all going to be very small, right? Let's change the opacity. And then we have just like a bunch of fish back there. Just giving it a little bit more depth, right? I know, lazy on a Friday. That's okay, right? Is that okay? Being lazy on a Friday? Right? And again, it's great. I just put these all in the same folder. It colorizes them. Okay? And, yeah. Right? This is where I'd start to move these around, cut them out, and all that fun stuff. Right? We'd have different fish, different places. And making sure the opacity is taken down. All right, you guys get the idea. You guys get it. I'm not going to play around too much with these fish because, like I said, I have about 11 ideas, and I'm trying to get through as many as possible. Honestly, if I get through 2, I'll be happy. But let's just kind of throw those like that. You guys kind of get the idea. Jeez, I thought I was going to move on a second ago, and I'm just like, I can't help myself. Okay, cool. Flying whales. The flying whales are here, people. That's right. Easy enough. That's done. By the way, like, this isn't the only way to do things. Like, I just threw this color wash. It's actually stealing color from this layer since I have it set to hue. we'll get more into this in a little bit. Hey, Lamia, good to see you. Magical, into it? Perfect. Let's move on. Now we have the cliff whales. There we go. Cool. All right. Let's move on to what do we have next? Oh, let's do this. Shall we, folks? Oh, yeah, let's do this. Because you know what? Who wouldn't want a pet elephant? Right? Who wouldn't want a pet elephant? Just a little elephant that fits in your hand. Wouldn't that be so nice? Huh? There we go. Let's add just a solid color background. We could see the bed. See, that's the thing. What I just did is I did a remove background, and yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. It was almost too quick to be perfect, huh? So we'll go in here and we will clean this up. I might even just keep this on white, by the way. So this might not matter too much. Oops. Oops. I do that all the time. I'm just filling with black or white. Let's grab this. And I think I might change the background to white just to hide all of this. If that's cool with you guys. Tiny pet elephant. Here we go. Let's do that. Let's change the background to white. Okay, now it looks like it's all cut out. Hey, good job, Paul. It's not really cut out. Look at this mess right in here. This whole part right here. Oh yeah, that needs to be white. There we go. Come on, buddy. Again, I think I spent 1 credit. On Adobe Stock to get this lovely little guy. Actually, many of them, but here he is. We're going to put him right in the hand there. Remove background. Boom. Did a good job. Let's just go ahead and... let's convert this to a smart object first. Ooh. Carol, there's a website called No Backs, and it has a bunch of hands in PNG format. It's amazing. I am into it. All right, this is just driving me nuts here. I'm sorry. Just can't leave well enough alone. B for brush. Yeah, let's go in. Let's pick a brush. And again, since I have a Wacom, let's crank up the flow all the way. And we kind of paint like so. X key will flip the colors, so I'm just adding and subtracting. Let's go right over here. Like so. Filling with foreground color. You guys get it. So I usually try the easy method, which is going to be, you know, remove background. Sometimes I'll go into select and mask, kind of just depends. Whenever we have hard lines like this, I don't really need to go into select and mask. There we go, that's already a lot better. B for brush, hit X. Nice and easy. Okay. Not bad. Very cool. All right. Here's our lovely little elephant. Elephant probably has a little more green than orange. So we'll just do Command U, brings up hue, and I can shift that. So again, I'm just kind of shifting this around. I would just shift it ever so slightly so it's a little bit more orange, and we'll take out some of that green. Click OK. There we have it. I'm feeling confident. Let's do this. Smart object with the hands. Duplicating the hands. Let's split up these hands now. Bam. Invert. Shift Command I. Go to the other one. Mask that puppy. There we go. Now I have those hands on two separate layers. Okay, now we can kind of control it. We can take the elephant, put it underneath one and over the other, kind of like that. And we'll just do something like that. All right, let's sell the fantasy, shall we? Hey, you know what? I'm going to be a rebel. Let's rasterize this. Let's apply that layer mask. Life's too short to make smart objects at this point. That's right, I'm a total rebel today. I'm going to use quick selection tool, jump in here. I really just want to grab this thumb. That's all I want. How's everybody doing? Ping, PNG, ping item, search, hands. Ah, Carol. I did not know about this. How long have you been keeping this from me? I'm sitting here cutting out stuff. Right? There we go. Now we have thumb. Boom. Put that thumb on top. There we go. Now we have our lovely little... Actually, there's more we need to do. We need to do so much with this. Let's take this hand now. Hand under. Put that underneath. Right? So we want them to be on top. Now let's going to do the same thing. Hand under thumb. I don't know if you're following any of this logic, but it makes sense to me. Let's be a rebel. Let's rasterize this. And apply layer mask. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Let's grab some of this. Goodness. Minus key. Subtract. Subtract. Clean it up. See, I don't know. Do you guys... I don't know if you guys use the lasso tool, but it's like the lasso tool is like the most accurate tool that you'll find in Photoshop, if you ask me. Right? It's either, well, there is it's anti-aliasing is turned on, but typically it's like really accurate for what I'm trying to do. Cool thing, I already rasterized this. Let's go ahead and mask that. Boom. Masked it. Let's take some of this. Turn that to white. Okay, done. All right, let's see what we have here, folks. Let's pick this apart. We have the thumb. Boom. We have the elephant. We have underneath that elephant. We can move this elephant around within a certain amount of space. Right? Let's actually grab some more of this. We're going to sell the fantasy. Sell it. Let's move that elephant back up. There we go. That's what we want. Kind of move him around. Cool. Oh, thanks for thinking this is a brilliant idea. I don't think it's that brilliant. I wouldn't be surprised if you did a search and found elephants in people's hands. I mean, it's just such a... Like, you want to make something cute, just make it small. But it's such an idea. What you can do, since I'm having a hard time keeping track of all these layers, I have this top thumb, and it goes with this hand. So I could take those two, just make them both red. Take these two, we'll make those, say, green. So now I know which thumb goes with which hand. Right? So now I have those two selected. I can move this around as well. So I was like, oh, let's pet this. Oh, you're such a cute little elephant. You're so cute. Right? It's adorable. right? We wouldn't have all that light on the elephant is the thing, right? We wouldn't have all this light up here. It's in shadow because of the hand now. So let's go ahead and do some stuff to that. Let's go ahead and let's go with, let's try this. Let's try levels. We're going to clip it just to the elephant. We're going to take that down. Actually, maybe we'll take down just the midtones. I really need to take down the highlights too, right? But let's just play with this. Let's invert it, right? Okay, so B for brush. We'll select our brush. We'll change it, soft round. We'll decrease the flow. And now we're gonna paint some lighting, right? We're gonna paint in, excuse me, some shadows, basically. I don't really like it. Right, so the cool thing is that since I did that, I can adjust this darkness, right? And we can see what's happening there. I'm not crazy about it. I think I just need to make all of it just a little darker. So grabbing this color stop is going to control the overall brightness as I take that down. So that's kind of why I picked doing levels over a brush, is because I can control sort of the darks and lights and all that fun stuff as I get into it. But I could always stack another layer on there that's going to be the shad and paint with this color like so. So maybe we will just try that. Anyway. That's not bad. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, this would be a fun animation. All right. Yeah, so Emma, by the way, so you are right. Like, I would love to be able to buy more, like, PSD files. I think that would be, like, fantastic. Love the idea. What I end up doing is I, like, make my own library that's full of transparency, you know, branch. Let's search for branch. You can see I've already done the cutout of a lot of things. Like here it is initially, and here's my cutout version, and then I just store it in my CC library. So wish I didn't have to do that, but hey, that's okay. Right, make my own versions. Okay, so underneath that, let's use a brush again. And just paint a little shadow kind of down there. There we go. Is that good? Is that okay? Let's take all of this, crank it up in size. Something like that. All right, cool. Not crazy about the background. Would love some ideas for the background. It just looks, I don't think the background's doing me any favors. Should it just be black? Do we do white? Like, actually, no. I actually like this. Look at how much the elephant stands out now, actually. In fact, it could use another levels. And maybe we brighten him up a little bit. Another thing you can try is painting with white on a layer. So as I paint with this white, right? So obviously that looks white. We'll change the blend mode to like overlay or soft light. In this case, I think overlay looks pretty good. And now I'm making it just look a little bit brighter, sort of in the front so it stands out. I'd usually take much more care into painting this part. But just for the sake of showing it, I always drop that opacity down as well. But there we go. Now we kind of have a little elephant in that hand. Cool. Ooh, yes. Christine, you are brilliant. Let's try that. I love that idea. Love it. Love it. So I did all this coloring. I love that idea, by the way. Put the trunk in front of, let's just try it. Put the trunk in front of the hand. So I'm going to take all these layers. This is all my shading for this lovely little guy. Okay. Let's take them all, put them in a smart object. Now we have this elephant. So rather than duplicating all those layers, I could just duplicate this elephant layer and put this in front. There we are. And now we'll do some masking with this. But what a fun idea. I like where your head's at. Let's try quick selection tool, see what we get. Maybe. Thanks for hanging out with us. We got a fun day planned, just so you know. Lots of master classes with my fellow coworkers, which is pretty fun. Fun day for us. Fridays are like our busiest days. Okay, so there we go. Boom. There it is. Now we can have that in front. Christine, you win. You win the creativity prize of the day. What a great thought. So, some shading there. Kind of like that. I don't know. Sure, that works. All right, done. Let's move on to the next one. I'd probably throw a little bit of, just a little splash of, what do you call it? A little vignetting in here, right? So let's just crank this up. A little vignetting on the outside, just to kind of pull your eye in, and just so the background's not so flat. See? There we go. Have it done. Hand animal. Done. Let's change that as green for go. Did it. Our cliff whales. Green for go. Light bulb planets. Geez, how many of these are we going to do today, folks? Okay, so boom, we have that. Let's look at our other one. There's this one. You know, it's okay. Like, I think you learn so much when you step away and come back. You're like, oh, there's so many things I should do with this. Like, this all needs to be... How much room do I have? I want to make the guy much smaller. I would make him a fraction of the size, by the way. Right? So we have this guy right here. Oh, shoot. Like, I think it'll be much more dramatic if he's like this size. Right? So we could make him that size. Let's go to this layer. Let's jump this layer. Let's do a... Come in here. This is what we want to get rid of. Let's do a select subject. It's going to select him. We'll expand this. So we'll go to select, modify, expand by 20 pixels, right? And then we'll do a fill. So we're going to do a fill with content aware. Content aware fill. And cross our fingers. Boom. He's gone. Done. I'm not going to worry too much about this. But now I have a little version of him. Oops, let's turn off that layer. A little guy here, and everything else is taken care of. Let's patch it. Shoop. Let's rubber stamp it. Wait for it. Wait for it, people. Oh, that little part. All right, so there we have that. That looks better, right? More dramatic. He's like, well, right? There also needs to be some contrast between the whale and his face, right? So it would actually be better if, like, added some brightness so he stands out more. Again, we do it the same way. I'm just going to do this really fast. I'm trying to do everything really fast. There we go. So see how we're just like making him stand off a little bit? Clip that. Change that to soft light. Maybe jump that layer. Like that. There we go. See how we just like, we're kind of making him stand out a little bit more so we can just see him a little bit better. Done. Let's move on. And again, we can always color tint this. It needs to have more orange up front. Wouldn't you agree? See, just threw a little bit more orange up front. Do I have to match all the black and white levels? Yeah, on each subject to make it realistic. Yes, yes you can. Here's another. Can I show you another pro thing? Another pro tip that I just forgot to talk about, and I think it's going to be so cool. So let's do this. Let me show you this because I went through this whole process. Right? I used this color wash and I did some other things. Here's what the whales were like originally. So let's just take one of these whales, bring it up here. I'll show you this really fast. We want to match, we can match the brightness and stuff, but I also want to match the color. So let's just try this. We're going to go ahead and add a curves layer and we're going to clip it to that whale. So for this curves, right, we could sort of try to pick, try to pick or match the darks and the lights and stuff like that, okay? But what we can do is we can actually go into auto. So I'm going to hold down the option key and I'm going to click auto. I'm basically going into these settings, right? Auto color correction. And here I can go ahead and say, hey, find dark and light colors. Hey, the shadows. Guess what? The shadows for this whale is actually going to be as dark as his jeans. Okay, I could do mid-tone. Oh, let's click OK. You know, mid-tones right about there. Click OK. And then we do highlights. So you pick the brightest part of the image, which happens to be right there. And you could play with this some more. But as I move this around, you can see kind of the color tinting that it's going to add. But anytime you want to match the darks and the lights, this allows you to like to take the guessing out of it, right? And you get the idea. All right, folks. How we doing on time? We doing okay? Oh, I need to get rid of some of that. All right, let's bring back a little bit of maybe the blue. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Done. Ooh, I like the idea of doing a play off of those words like werewolf. Like, I don't know, that there could be something fun there. Do a little word play. All right, so light bulb and planets. What do you think? Shall we try it? Let's try it. Let's first off maybe make a background. I don't know. Okay, I can do a remove background. Boom. I've already done that. I have all these planets right here. Let's move these around. Let's take this one right there. We'll put it right in the middle. I have its blend mode set to lighten, so this is how it is normally. But changed this just to lighten. Maybe. We have the same situation where we need to match the darks and the lights. Or even in this case, like especially this blue one really stands out. An easy way to match them is just to work on adjusting the transparency. But let's first make these smart objects, because chances are I'm going to do lots of resizing. If I make these smart objects, I can kind of protect them. There we are. Okay, let's kind of rotate this. Maybe this is standing straight up. I don't know. I'm open to what you guys think. We're werewolves, not swear-wolves. Any What We Do in the Shadows fans out there? We're werewolves, not swear-wolves. Okay, here I'm going to jump in. I'm going to use the object selection tool. And sometimes it's set to rectangle. We want to change that to lasso, because I want to just go ahead and loosely, let's deselect that. Sorry. I should probably save this file as well. But let's just roll around this. No hands mode. Boom. Let's grab some more of this. Lovely sphere. There we go. Mask it. Content aware fill. I'm probably doing way too much work to get that background, but this is what I wanted. I just wanted the background. So there it is. Let's do something like that. Command T. Stretch it out like so. Like so. You get the idea. Cool. There it is. We're werewolves, not swear-wolves. All right. You have the sun on the left, but yeah, so that's a good point. Like I want this stuff to look like it's kind of around. Ooh, that's a bad cutout job. The this light bulb or the sun. So I need to work on all of that fun lighting. First off, let's do that. Right, so let's put the earth on this side. Maybe some of these, are they living inside of the bulb, outside of the bulb? How much glow do I add? We'll just see how it goes, okay? All right, so let's put this over here. Let's flip it. We'll do something like that. Let's flip this. We could play with the transparency, but honestly, what I think I want to do is... Drives me nuts. There we go. Throw some curves in there. Brighten that up, see? All right, so that's how I'm just kind of like controlling the brightness, like so. And again, I could use that same trick I did earlier. Let's exit out of that. Let's click here, Option key click. All that fun stuff. Find dark and light colors. All right, you can see that dark color is actually a little bit of, geez. See, look at how the colors kind of bounce around. Let's go with that. Midtones, definitely that. Color highlights. not that strong. In fact, the highlights are technically... Ooh, that looks good. There we go. I'm going to paint in the highlights. So let's not worry too much about this. Click OK. Oh, Maxwell, thank you. You're so kind. I got to keep track of time. I have about 10 minutes to go. Okay, so everything, all the planets are in here. Planets. Right? We put these curves on top, kind of like puts it inside of this light bulb. I would probably fade out the edges here as well. So I'd throw a new mask on there. B for brush. And I would kind of fade out. So anything near the edge is going to be like that. So that's starting to sell it a little bit more. Okay, so I decide I want to move this one. See how it looks like it's just kind of fading out. That looks good. Let's take this guy. What is this guy? This is like the moon. Let's throw him in there. Let's play with lighting now, huh? Let's have some fun. Let's create a new layer. Let's clip it. Ugh. Ugh. Zoom in on that puppy. Look at how close it is to the sun. There we go. Make it pop. Gotta make it pop, man. Okay, Frank, I'm trying my hardest. I could do an outer glow on something that I paint. And I could change this to that gold. Right? So let's go back in there. Outer glow. Let's crank this up. Let's paint on this layer even more. Oh, I have the curves associated with that as well. Oh man, this is a tough one. But this is the brightness, that bright that I just painted right there. Heck, let's just do that. Let's do that, folks. Let's just paint right here. And take a look at that outer glow. Set that to normal. Just to show you what's happening. There we go. You guys kind of catching a vision for it. There we go. I'm technically painting with white, but thanks to that glow, it's doing that jazz. So you guys get the idea. All right. Throw some more in here. Maybe I'll play with the... Oh, yeah. Okay. Clip that. I want it to be even brighter. Oh, that's why. That's set to overlay. Anyway. All right, guys. You guys get the idea. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Throw that there. Hey, why not? Number 3, done. Yeah, so I would rather use hue and saturation adjustment layer to create the highlights. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I could totally do that. I'm not 100% sold on this. I thought it was interesting that I just turned on this outer glow and that gives it a splash of color on the edge. So I thought that was kind of clever. But you are right. You know, it's just like I was painting with curves and levels. Hue and saturation is going to give us that pop. So let's crank it up. There's that pop of color, right? Crank that up. Crank up the lightness, and again, you have like kind of full control over all that. So, yeah, I think you're onto something, right? And of course, you would paint on this. So invert it. Hit B, paint with white, right, like that. And here we're painting with that hue and saturation. Oh yeah, give it some pop. It's actually bringing out all the color in these different planets, so I think a combination of these two would work. So here's one combo, hue and saturation, and then that highlight like that. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Why not? Done and done. We're done with this one. I would probably make these planets all look much more elegant. Like this one needs to be smaller. They all need to be smaller. They're just going to be much more elegant as I kind of shrink them down. Right? Some of my shadows are actually getting off at this point. But, you know. Cool. All right, there we have it. We did it. Number 3, let's move on. Sydney's watching from Kentucky. Good to have you here, Sydney. We are just playing out with some fun, seamless surrealism, having fun with various topics. Do a search. Grab images. So you're either going to be inspired by the photo, or just like whatever comes to mind. You never know where the inspiration will strike. You know, when I saw this photo and I saw the center, I was like, okay, that's perfect. We'll turn that into the sun. I could give this so much more pop, by the way. And it's always so interesting because as I come back to these, I'm like, oh, this could use some big time editing, by the way. But it's helpful to kind of step back, and when you come to it and approach it with fresh eyes, you can see different ways to... let's do Flamingo Flowers. I think I got a good response when I mentioned that. These lovely flowers. Let's do it, folks. All right. Boom. Boom. Do the same thing. Remove background. You're being so good to me. Let's do hue and saturation. Let's crank it up. Let's get these popping. Huh? See, I'm just playing with that color, that brightness. Trying to give them a little pop. Let's make sure these two match. And let's give this some more color as well. Right, so just adding a little bit more color right in here. This overlay. There we go. Here's our flamingo. It's a little song and dance. Okay. Done is better than perfect. No truer words have been said. One flamingo flower. Done. So what about this one? That's fun. Got some weird stuff happening there. I'll probably just blend it in. So let's do it. Smart object, shrink it down. Bring this one right over here and make him this lovely little flower. Is this weird, guys? Is this getting too weird? Shift the color. Weird. All right, who's making money off of GameStop? I have 5 minutes. Awesome, McCore. Glad you like this. Muriel, cool. I have so many layers. Well, actually, I have so many projects in here. I'm scared to check the size, to be honest with you. I had to turn it into a PSB. which is PS Photoshop big file, which is just hilarious. Photoshop big. How long did that meeting take? 5 minutes? What should we call this new big file format for Photoshop? Photoshop big? Right. Okay, cool. Done. Nice. Elegant. Boom. We got that one done too. Let's colorize it. Green for go. Green for go. We've done 4. I don't have time to do anymore. I'm just going to add wings to her. That's pretty easy to do. That's what I'm talking about. Wade, Marsha, Emma. Oh, love it. All right, let's rasterize this. Remove the background. Oh, these are gorgeous wings too. Gorgeous. Gorgeous wings. Come on, lady. Do your thing. Let's make these larger. Huge and glorious. Ah, I'm out of time. I don't have time to finish. But you guys get the idea. Thanks so much for hanging out with me and dealing with this fun surrealism and all the different designs we've done. Ba-ba, there's another one. Here's another one. When I get these posted, let me know which one you like. I'll be doing that on Instagram. So thanks so much for hanging out with me. You guys have been fantastic. I really appreciate you. Stay healthy. Get your sleep. Be kind to one another, huh? And have a beautiful day. And stick around. We've got some audio and video with Jason up next. And hang out with us all day, huh? Why not? Thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you soon.